It is time for the Tuesday edition of Litter Media Live with the icon, Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for joining us today. And as we prepare for this day, I was going through just a moment ago and came across a radio moment.
Is that right?
So we'll share that for you at the end of our program today. For those of you that might remember that we were on the radio at one point in time.
Mm-hmm. That's where it all, well, actually, no. It did not begin for me on radio. It began for me on cable television, 1978.
I was thinking it actually began for you speaking into a brush in front of a mirror.
Well, technically speaking, that is correct.
All those years ago.
That or into a, my thumb, that was the microphone.
That was the microphone?
Yeah.
You spoke into your thumb?
Here, Dan.
Keep your thumb away from me. I don't know where that thing's been.
I did wash it before I yes.
I don't remember ever doing any type of broadcast or anything like that prior to getting into radio.
Mm. Yeah, I worked with John Harper, a dean of cable. He had a cable outlet in Frankfort, Clarksburg, and Kingston, and did some high school play-by-play. And I don't know that we ever did any news type stuff. John took me out with him to string a lot of cable between telephone poles.
Made you work?
Made me actually work, yeah. I thought, wait a minute, this isn't broadcasting, this is work, yeah.
I guess I did help with the audio-visual department in school, but and despite performing on stage with the band and everything and out on the football field, I don't remember actually doing anything on microphone until my senior year. National Honor Society at Tays Valley. We were electing officials for the officers, and no one wanted the vice presidency. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Not realizing that the vice president is one who had to give the speech at the tapping ceremony.
Yeah.
And so that was the only time I remember actually addressing the school body.
Yeah. Had the toy Mr. Microphone come along when we were still in school, or was that later?
I don't remember that. I remember my niece singing on one. Yeah. That might have been around the time that our radio careers began, yeah. Probably.
I could just vaguely remember the campy commercial where the guy says, "Hey, good looking." I can't even remember how it transmitted. What did it transmit to?
I think it was a radio frequency.
Okay.
So you could, it was a signal that went to your radio on a certain particular FM frequency,
Gotcha.
and I think that's how it worked.
I never had one. I just remember seeing them on TV.
Yeah.
I was the guy always wanting the X-ray glasses in the comic magazine.
I did buy those one time.
Didn't work, huh?
I was surprised at what I got this nice frame of glasses that were plastic, and they were cardboard lenses.
Oh.
And in the cardboard lens were holes, and inside the holes were parchment paper.
Oh, God.
So that when you actually put the lenses and glasses on your nose, you could hold your hand up and you would see what looked like. It was distortion, basically, of you're looking through parchment paper. But to see through the girl's dress that it was showing on the comic book advertisement, that didn't happen.
Reliving our childhood, and the stupid things we used to think about.
What a way to start the show,
Yeah,
huh? Hi, everybody.
This was like the radio bit. This is what we did on radio.
Yeah, that's true.
Off-the-wall stuff,
That's true. There are news topics of certain things we want to share with you today, along with sports. And, of course, this date in history on Tuesdays is our revolutionary moment. So that is coming up here shortly. And a radio moment from this date in history also up ahead. But first, let's take a look at our forecast.
Yeah, we're getting is this Indian summer you used to call this?
I think you have to have a frost before you have Indian summer.
Well, we haven't gotten that yet, but it's coming. Sunny skies today with a high of 83. More the same tomorrow, 84. Overnight lows of 56. But as you see on this little weather map from the National Weather Service, I think, yes, there it is. The temperature for a daytime high will be about what our nighttime low is later this week. And I think that's where they're saying we could start seeing a little bit of the frost with the overnight lows. So funny you should mention that because it is in the forecast for later this week.
And, of course, if you want to be prepared for the colder weather, you want to make sure your furnace is working, too. Mm-hmm. So Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They are your total trusted comfort advisor. Make sure that the air conditioner is working. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Michael Linton say the other day, this is that time of the year where it's AC weather during the daytime, furnace at nighttime.
Unless you have a wife that says, I don't want that furnace on yet.
Unless you have a wife who's going through hot flashes.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But make sure you give them a call. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It will take you right to their website to see all the territory that they service for Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News is next.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
Time to take a look at the things that are making news across the Scioto Valley, which you can find at littermedia.com and on our social media, like this here, Facebook Live.
Yes, sir. Heads up for tomorrow. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, in coordination with the Federal Communications Commission, will conduct a nationwide test of the emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts, and that is Eastern Time between 2:20 and 2:50 tomorrow. Now, the radio, television, they'll have their EAS test that you're used to, but you'll be getting an alert that also will come over your wireless devices, such as your cell phones. Again, that's Eastern Time, 2:20 to 2:50. The alert will continue over that half-hour period, but it'll only come to your cell phone one time. And again, that is part of a national test.
This is a test.
Yeah, I'm not sure they say that.
A test.
Yeah. If it's like the Amber Alert, it just starts.
Yeah, it just comes on anymore.
Gives you, a message there.
Yeah.
Fayette County College Military Career and Technology Fair at Miami Trace High School gym will be tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2:30. But this is open to area school students and their parents, even if you do not reside in Fayette County. 65 representatives from higher education and the military will be on hand for tomorrow's event. A reminder that we are under the fall outdoor burn ban between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. in October and November. Now, this message from Scioto Township Fire Department reminds us that this is a state law for every county in the Buckeye State.
And if you want to burn those leaves, don't do it.
At least not until after 6 p.m. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Natural Areas and Preserves invites hikers of all abilities to enjoy the delights of an Ohio autumn at Conkle's Hollow State Nature Preserve. During the Fall Foliage Open House, October 14th and 15th, naturalists will be stationed along both trails to answer questions about the preserve, including its geology, natural history, plants, and animals. Additionally, the event will host local historical reenactors demonstrating Ohio frontier life in the late 1790s prior to statehood when the area was being settled. Now, this open house, those 2 days, will be 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
I've never been there. I've heard of it, but I've never been to it.
And the Conkle name, that's we had a story here about a month ago, pardon me, about where donated land from that family stretches over into Pike County.
Right.
But this, what we're talking about here, is over in Hocking County. Chillicothe Mayor Luke Feeney announcing yesterday that the Halloween schedule of events for the city of Chillicothe are as follows. Trick or Treat will be rain or shine on Tuesday, October 31st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. The Downtown Trick or Treat event, hosted by Discover Downtown Chillicothe, is Saturday the 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. Now, if you saw our press release earlier yesterday, it said 3 to 5. The city changed that to make it 4 to 6 p.m. We got an addendum to that release just this morning. And, of course, the Halloween parade hosted by the Chillicothe JCs, that'll be 7 p.m. on Saturday the 28th. Now, other Ross County villages and townships will be sharing that 31st of October trick-or-treat date and time slot that Chillicothe has, except in one instance. The village of Frankfort will hold their trick-or-treating, and I believe this is the second year in a row they've done this, on Sunday afternoon, October the 29th, from 3 to 4:30 p.m.
And that's because you live in Frankfort.
And they don't want people, out at night, I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
that could be.
For some reason, they don't come back in our neighborhood. They stayed in town. We're kind of like on the suburbs.
Is that right?
The west side of Frankfort. You were out yesterday morning for breakfast. Did you get anything to eat?
I did not. Well, it wasn't a breakfast. It was a lunch. So I was
okay.
there early when it was starting, but it was over for the FFA groups here in Ross County. They were preparing to teach professionals. So basically, training today's kids to be leaders tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So they had the state leader for the Ohio FFA was there, Luke Jennings from Felicity, Ohio. Also, they heard several other speakers throughout the day, and they got to sit down and have a lasagna dinner with these individuals also. Wow. To really teach them where you should have your fork and all that kind of stuff, and then hold a conversation and have your elevator speech ready. You ever heard what an elevator speech is?
I heard the tape yesterday.
Yeah, that's where you basically you've got 45 seconds to give your biography, basically, and have something prepared and ready to go. But that entire interview is now available for you on our YouTube channel with Jennifer Johnston and also Kaylee Adkins, who's excited about the sausage breakfast being on Groundhog Day.
You mean I'm supposed to hold my knife and fork a certain way when I'm talking to you at lunch?
Yes.
Okay. Or maybe I should use utensils and not my hands.
Or using the proper utensils as well. So if you have two forks, you got a little one and a big one. The little one is for your salad, and the big one is for, digging in as opposed to digging in.
I've never had to impress Dan at lunch, so I'm myself.
There have been times where I've stopped and watched him eat because it is so quick. I mean, it's not
a pretty sight. Yeah.
It's on its plate, and then it disappears. It's amazing how quickly it goes. So it's like Enoch. Was and was not.
Yeah. Let's hit the road again, Over in Hocking County, bridge replacement project taking place on State Road 664 between 4th Street and Reed Road. That's Township Road 43. One lane is closed during that project, and there will be some temporary traffic signals, but that work will continue through November the 1st.
All righty. Coming up, a look at sports. We have some postseason stuff that we'll share today.
Yeah, golf tournament action continuing, and some other high school news to tell you about.
So that's just ahead here on Litter Media Live. Want to tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you have a cleanup job that needs to be done, you got to make them the first
After
call.
I eat, that's a cleanup job. Get the dumpster for that.
Give a call to our friends at Scioto Valley Dumpsters. That's 740-253-8389, and they'll bring a dumpster where you want it, and then they'll come back when you're done filling it up, and then they haul it away, and the job is done.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. Call Scioto Valley Dumpsters now, 740-253-8389. Tell them Dan and Mike sent you. Sports next. For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
And don't forget, tomorrow is open interview time for McDonald's. So if you're looking for work, they can fit you in between 2 and 5 in Circleville, in Greenfield, in Waverly, and here in Chillicothe. Sports.
The game of the week, we're still working on last week's highlights, or?
Yes. Will it be done today? Yes. We're told it's going to be done
Producer Aaron
today.
Glandon says, yes.
This is the first time I have not done the highlight film, and Aaron is going to be doing it for us, or started doing it for us yesterday. So hopefully we'll have that ready to go this afternoon.
Okay.
Barring anything that steps in the way.
Gotcha. Just a reminder, the Litter Media Game of the Week on radio, Litter Media Radio, this Friday night. We jump back into the SVC after being in the FAC 2 weeks ago, the MSL last week. SVC action this week as Uniota hosts Zane Trace. That's a rematch of the big championship game over at Zane Trace last year. And don't forget our preview show at noon Thursday, right here live at noon.
And we are looking for your nominations for the Athlete of the Week. And if you want to participate in that, just go to our website and click on where it says Player of the Week. Send us who you would like us to take a look at this week for our friends at Neil Coleman Insurance and Wyandotte Mutual, giving us the opportunity to give not only an award mention on our website and on our Facebook page, but at the end of the year, we will have a Player of the Year. So good, and they'll get a nice trophy.
Very good. Let's jump into the postseason. High school Division I girls golf sectional at Pickaway Country Club last night. Grove City, Hilliard Darby, and Gahanna Lincoln qualified for the districts. Individuals to qualify include Sailor Wharf of Marietta. I bet I know who she's related to, the Wharf brothers who run the radio down there. Anna Marchhammer and Haley Boss of Canal Winchester. Tays Valley, Chillicothe, and Lancaster failed to advance either as teams or as individuals. Division III boys golf district at Portsmouth Elks. West Union took the team title. They were the only ones that qualified because they take one team and one individual. The individual, this sounded like a battle. Cameron Phillips of Valley advanced to the state tournament after he beat Owen Mould of South Webster in a playoff. I think they both shot 70. They had a one-hole playoff, and Phillips won that. Division I boys sectional golf is today at Denison Golf Club. My spell check changed it to Goof Club. And that includes Chillicothe. I think maybe
That's
Tays
this
Valley.
program.
Yeah, I think Tays may also be up there with Chillicothe for that today. Girls D2 district golf today is at the Chillicothe JCs. The Southern Ohio Christian Conference will be having a volleyball tournament this Friday and Saturday, October 6th and 7th, at Fayette Christian Academy. This will be a double elimination tournament for the junior high as well as the varsity level and include Adams County Christian, Fayette Christian, Hillsborough Christian, Ross County Christian Academy, and Wilmington Christian. That coming to us from our friend Roy at Ross County Christian Academy.
Roy Kelly.
Yes, sir. AP high school football polls out yesterday. Division III, Bloom Carroll ranked number 13. They look better than 13 last Friday night. D2, or D4, pardon me, Sheridan is number 6. Logan Elm still 11th despite their loss. D5 has Ironton number 6. Paint Valley is number 12 in Division 6. Eastern Meigs is 13th and Eastern Pike 14th in D7. Now remember the OHSAA computer rankings. They come out at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have that up on littermedia.com once it comes in. OHS VCA state poll, that's volleyball, Division II, Bloom Carroll number 4. Marietta is ranked number 8. Sheridan 9. Circleville 13th. Uniota number 19. Division III has South Webster undefeated, number 6, and Adena comes in at number 18. Speaking of volleyball, Miami Trace Volleyball is at Jackson tonight. The Lady Panthers have already clinched a share of the league championship. They can win it outright with a victory at Jackson tonight. We hope to have a story up on that if that does take place, as we've been in touch with Doug Mace over at Miami Trace earlier this morning. And I guess the baseball Major League playoffs get underway today.
They do.
3 o'clock or something like that?
8 teams, 4 games today.
Yeah. So if you like baseball, you'll get your fill of it today. But no Reds or Guardians to play.
Yeah. If you like Reds baseball or Guardians baseball, you'll not get your full of it today.
This is what you'll be hoping for next year.
You'll be watching the teams that they didn't have success against.
That's correct.
I guess.
Yeah. But you got to look at, as you said yesterday on the show, 20 wins more than they had the year before.
Yeah.
But you know what that means for next year. This is the year you got to do it, so we'll find out.
Well, who knows? I mean, if you make that kind of a move, can we get another 20 wins next year? And that would be a true turnaround.
102, which I think the Braves had 103 or 104 wins this year. So.
Yeah. Well, the Braves and Dodgers both were over 100 wins, and I believe the Orioles with 100 wins. Right. So you going back to Big Red Machine days with those numbers. Yeah. So it'd just be nice to see wire to wire like they did in 1990 as well.
That'd be sweet.
So perhaps something for Christmas. I don't know. This is news related, but it just popped up a moment ago on my phone here from the Columbus Dispatch. Ohio State professor Pierre Augustini was among 3 scientists who won the Nobel Prize in Physics for their study of electron dynamics in matter. Go Bucks.
Yeah, how about that? Whatever that means, I'm sure it's very heady.
It probably is.
Yeah.
And far above our capabilities of.
There you go. Maybe Aaron can figure it out, but
yeah, he's the one with the college graduate. Not us, that's for sure. All right, in a moment, our radio moment for today. By the way, let me throw a little shout out for the Litter Media Radio. Again, if you have not listened to us on radio, you can do so, not on your radio, but if you go to your computer or on the app that's available on your smartphone. It's the Live 365 app. And not only that, but if you go to our website, littermedia.com, click where it says Litter Media Radio. It will take you to everything you need to know about the radio. Mike's halftime interview with Mike Shoemaker is on in our rotation of our interviews on that Litter Media Radio page.
Gotcha.
So check that out. And it's also on a podcast page, which I've not made public yet. So one of these days we get enough things collected, I'll get that podcast page going there, too, that you'll be able to look at. All right, coming up in just a moment, our revolutionary moment and a radio moment next.
Big yards, small yards, hilly yards, silly yards. Every yard is unique, and every yard, no matter how much you love it, can be uniquely frustrating to mow. That's why Country Clipper is designed to tackle any obstacle imaginable. It's the perfect mower for even the most imperfect yard. Country Clipper, engineered for easy.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
Budweiser beer, the king is second.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a six-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
On Tuesdays, the Daughters of America Revolution from the Nathaniel Massey chapter put together a little copy for us on our revolutionary moment, getting ready for the semi-sesquicentennial for
I'm impressed.
The United States.
He said it, yeah. October, which we're in October,
Yes, sir.
of 1781, the war virtually came to an end when General Cornwallis was surrounded and forced to surrender the British position at Yorktown, Virginia. 2 years later, the Treaty of Paris made it official. America was independent. But that was this month in 1781 after about 5-6 years of fighting.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee.
You want me to sing the rest?
No. I prefer telling.
Oh, okay. I got you. You did the Neil Diamond version of it, yeah. My wife said, it always sounds like he's talking his songs, but he made enough money that I guess he could do that, yeah.
That's right. Plus, he went through the vocal cord thing, you know. I don't know whatever happened with that. I remember him having several concerts that he had to postpone because of having issues with his vocal cords.
You know, he said he knew I saw an interview where he said, I knew I had a hit song if my mom liked the song.
Really?
When he was producing it, he said if mom liked it, it was always a hit.
Was her name Cracklin' Rosie?
No, don't think so. Yeah. Sweet Caroline, maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say, he had a lot of hits. Sweet Caroline is.
Oh, my gosh.
How many stadiums do you hear it sung?
Imagine the royalties he gets off that, because every time they play that, because he's the writer, he gets some of that residual. So.
Which is why I don't want Mike singing. It's not
because we got to pay a royalty.
Because of singing. Oh. Wink, wink.
What if I make up a song of my own? Do we still have to? We'll pay another way.
It's not licensed, yeah.
We'll pay in another way.
We
You're fired.
Well,
$500,000 a year, yeah.
Nice. Really
wow.
nice.
That's Neil Diamond, wow.
Our radio moment harkens back to the year 2011, if I'm not mistaken, and this was the last year for the last Chillicothe Buckeye Roundtable show, from what I understand, if I remember correctly. This was held at Jerry's Pizza, the one on the west side of town, and the reason this was important is because Chris, isn't that horrible? I just saw his name in front of my face. Linebacker for Ohio State, played for the Detroit. Thank you. Chris Spielman went to Jerry's downtown. And he missed getting to Jerry's West until later. So the guys started the show. And do we have the photos up on here yet? Okay. I'm not seeing them show up on my screen here yet.
There we go.
But as you'll see, there is Garen Veris along with Jim Lachey, both NFL alumni members. And down in the right-hand corner there is the national championship quarterback.
Yeah. Isn't that terrible? I can't think of him. Ben's buddy, yeah.
Ben Hartsock's former roommate.
Yeah.
Craig Krenzel. Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew it would come to me sooner or later. But Jalen Jones was the MVP for that week, and he received the award. There he is with mom and dad. And so Jalen now, if I remember correctly, is a graduate from down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And so he's, I think, a doctor or about to be a doctor.
Wow. Congratulations.
Following in Dad's footsteps there in that way. So that's our radio moment. Going back to, it was so funny because Chris Spielman, when he finally showed up, everybody's like, hey, look who's here. And he comes over and he sits down. And when he says, who'd have thought there's 2 Jerry's Peaches in Chillicothe? He says, I went to the first one. And so that's however long it took him to get there. Because he said, I'm walking around the restaurant taking a look at, well, where is everybody? And that's when they said, oh, we have a second restaurant. And he's like, well, where the heck is that?
Yeah.
So then they had to give him directions how to get there and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was a pretty cool night.
Talking about radio, shout out to a couple of old friends of ours, a former colleague, Drew Henty, and his wife, Gloria, ran into them over the weekend. They said hello, and they tune in once in a while. A lot of people watch the show later. They're not necessarily watching it live. They'll watch it later, and Drew said that he tunes in from time to time. So.
One of our viewers yesterday, as I was walking up to Calvary Lutheran Church, she was the door person at the time, and she goes, you must be Mike. I said, actually, Mike's my brother, and which he is, not just my broadcast partner, but my brother Mike, and so we had a nice little runaround conversation about that. And Tom Perrin, the pastor of Calvary Lutheran, was there, and he was not wearing the Browns jacket.
That was funny.
Yeah,
he wouldn't do that. Yeah.
So if you missed that video, you can go back and find it here on our videos page of. Not only here, but also on our YouTube channel.
Right.
You've got more than 1,400 videos on that YouTube channel.
That's a bunch. That's a library, as our owner Matt would say.
Yeah, and we were talking about our anniversary yesterday, which was the 6th anniversary of launching Litter Media. And I looked back and I saw the first anniversary post on Facebook. And at that point in time, there were 450 videos.
Wow.
So 450 videos in that first year. And technically, I never professionally made a video up until that time. So not that they're professionally done now, but
it's like me and my stickman art.
Well, hopefully they're a little bit better than Mike's stickman art.
If you need graphics, Dan, I can handle that.
Oh, yeah. Here's some paper. Where's your crayon?
Yeah. Here's Mike's rendering of the president's visit to Chillicothe today. Oh, golly.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. All right. That's why he made his popularity in radio. So, all right. Coming up in just a moment, we will have, what do we have next? We have a morning show tomorrow?
Well, we have Fairfield County. It may be a topics session. We've been trying to get a hold of some people from the Fairfield County Fair, which is next week, the last county fair in Ohio each year. We've been unsuccessful. Maybe they know of our popularity or whatever. But we've tried. One person, couldn't get them. Trying another one. But if we don't, we'll talk about it certainly a lot during our topic session tomorrow.
If you want to see something from the Fairfield County Fair, that was the second video I produced.
Well, maybe we need to rerun that.
Just to go back and take a look at that. And I did have a talk with the Fair Board president at the time. So maybe it's a step in time. Just step back in time.
Yeah.
And you can find that on our YouTube channel. Just go to Litter Media on YouTube and search Fairfield County. It'll take you right to it. All right. So tomorrow, back here with another edition of Litter Media Live. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.